going to give you that version of the great old tune Cotton Eye Joe. It's with Josh Goforth on the fiddle. Daddy worked a man called Cotton Eye Joe. Don't you remember, don't you know, Daddy worked a man called Cotton Eye Joe. Where did you come from, where did you go, where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Where did you come from, where did you go, where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Everybody loved old Cotton Eye Joe. Whenever there's a dance, all the ladies want to go. They all want to dance with Cotton Eye Joe. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Cotton Eye Joe. Daddy don't care, Mama won't know, but fiddle a little tune called Cotton Eye Joe. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? I want to play a tune on the mouth bow and remember our good friend Carlock Stokesbury. Do you guys remember Carlock?
Yeah.
I remember standing right in front of that little cabin. I did a show with him, actually I think it was Fire on the Mountain years ago. And Carlock was telling me how he made a mouth bow. Now, down in western North Carolina, people will just take a stick, bend it, take a cat gut, string it from one end of the stick to the other, and they had a mouth bow. Not Carlock. He would go out in the coldest day of the year, up in the woods here, around his house, and he would take a big rock and he would wait till it was so cold and he would throw the rock at the tree, and the tree that had the biggest ring in it, that rang through the valley, he knew that was going to make the best sounding mouth bow. And then he would wait till the dark of the moon and cut on the north side of the tree to get a stick, basically just to make a stick. He was a wonderful man and a wonderful player. We're going to do... So I should tell you the mouth bow first if you didn't get to meet Carlock. So this is the oldest stringed instrument in the world. Clearly it's just a stick with a string on it. And you put it up to your mouth and move your mouth bigger or smaller and it changes the note a little bit, something like this. Now we're going to put that together with another traditional North Carolina instrument.
The paper bag.
Yes.
And not only the paper bag, but the David Holt model paper bag, everyone.
It's like a Martin D28.
Got good tone, yeah.
Is it in tune there, Josh? No, I think it's a little sharp. Okay.
It is now.
Great old tune that Carlock used to play called Cripple Creek. Well, I got a gal at the head of the creek where they go down to see about 3 times a week. Kiss from the lips sweet as any wine, wrap myself around like she kid of mine. Going up Cripple Creek, going on a run, going up Cripple Creek, have a little fun. Going up Cripple Creek, going in a whirl, going up Cripple Creek, see my girl. Jump on a boy like a dog on the bone. Gonna roll my britches up to my knees. Gonna wait old Crip Never I please. Going up Cripple Creek, going on a run. Going up Cripple Creek, have a little fun. Going up Cripple Creek, going in the world. Going up Cripple Creek, see my girl. Oh me, oh my, gonna wait old Cripple Creek till I die. Oh me, oh my, gonna wait old Cripple Creek till I die. The mouth bow, Carluck Stooksbury. Well, while we're running off on the weird instruments, let me show you the most. I was just reading in the paper today, maybe you saw it too, that said that the oldest they think a person basically can live is 115. Well, Marie Calmette lived to be 122 in France, and my friend Susie Brunson, there's her picture, also lived to be 122 in Wilmington, North Carolina. She wasn't quite as old as Marie, so she doesn't get the notoriety, but this is the gal who taught me how to play the washboard. I didn't know how to play at the time, but I would go down and visit her, and she loved to hear the banjo. You know, she was born in 1870, so that was the music of her world, the banjo. But she said in the black community, in the black community, they didn't have any other instruments but the washboard, so they had to do all their music on the washboard, which is really something when you think about it. I said, well, how did you do that? She said, we just have to play real subtly. Well, can't get that darn house. Can we do it?
Yeah, that's fine.
So the washboard is just basically, this is the Stradivarius washboard. It's not the ordinary washboard. It is the Zinc King lingerie model, made around 1917. And Josh is also playing another weird little instrument.
This is just a stick with bottle caps nailed to it. It's from over in Burnsville, North Carolina, and they call this thing a stump fiddle over there. And it's a rhythm instrument. Sounds like this.
So we're going to do a tune from Bessie Jones from the Georgia Sea Islands and go into one I learned from Doc Watson called Rain Crow Bill. I got the left hind leg of a rabbit and things are coming my way. All I got to do is just reach out and grab it, 'cause things are coming my way. Oh Lord, how happy I feel. I got possession of an automobile. Don't have to work, don't have to steal, and things are coming my way. Got one lucky penny in my left hind pocket, and things are coming my way. Never be broke just as long as I got it, 'cause things are coming my way. Oh Lord, how happy I feel. I got possession of an automobile. Don't have to work, I don't have to steal, and things are coming my way. Things are coming my way. Things are coming my way. I was in my 20s, I came to North Carolina to learn the old music. And I came across this incredible little community in Madison County called Sodom, North Carolina. There's no Gomorrah, but there is Sodom. And it's a place where there were lots of music still going on, lots of ballad singers, incredible amount of ballad singers. In fact, it's some of the richest area in the United States. Cecil Sharp came through there in 1916 and just got a ton of ballads. And I met all these old ballad singers like Deli Norton. You get anything on that DI? And doesn't seem like it, but yeah, it's got fan power, yeah. You know why? Because there's no mic cord plugged into it. Don't worry about it, we'll just use this mic right here. That does it every time. So Josh grew up in that area. He grew up in Lonesome Mountain, sort of a part of Greater Sodom.
The gateway to Sodom is what we call it.
The gateways. And you know, he is descended from all those folks I learned from when I was in my 20s. He never got to meet him, but we get to hear him do those songs that are just in his blood. What about this one?
This is one that I learned from the ballad singing of Doug Wallen, a wonderful singer from there in Sodom, North Carolina. And Doug used to sing this to my mom all the time because my mom's name's Peggy, and this particular ballad's called Pretty Peggy-O. To Venerio, as we march down to Venerio, our captain fell in love with a lady like a dove, and the name she was called was Pretty Peggy-O. Come along and go with me, Pretty Peggy-O. Come along, go with me, Pretty Peggy-O. In coaches you shall ride with your true love by your side, just as grand as any lady in the air. You're the man that I adore, sweet William O. You're the man that I adore, sweet William O. You're the man that I adore, but your fortune, it's too small. I'm afraid my mother would be angry, oh. Well, what would your mother think, Pretty Peggy-O? Well, what would your mother think, Pretty Peggy-O? What would your mother think for to hear the guineas clink and the soldiers marching before you? 'Cause if ever I return, Pretty Peggy-O, well, if ever I return, Pretty Peggy-O, well, if ever I return, then your city I will burn, and I'll destroy all the ladies in the area. pretty Peggy, oh. Come a-tripping down the stairs, combing back your yellow hair. Bid lass farewell to sweet William O. 'Cause our captain, he is dead, pretty Peggy, oh. Well, our captain, he is dead, pretty Peggy, oh. Our captain, he is dead, and he died for a maid. And he's buried in Louisiana country, oh.
That could be dangerous. We got time for one more, but we'll be back here at, thank you, 4 o'clock, and then over at stage 3 at 1. Thank you. Keeping me on track here. And we'll be doing a different set each time, so come on over and see us and talk to us. And Josh is going to get the records out and put them, I guess it's over here where they go.
Yeah.
I grew up in Texas, and when I was a little boy, my mama would tell my brother and me, she'd say, "Why don't you boys go out on the railroad tracks and play?" And she wasn't kidding. What she wanted us to do was go down Duck Creek and play under the trestle where the train came over, about a half a mile from our house. Now, we wanted to because every day at 3:15, the Rock Island Line came across that bridge. This is in Garland, Texas. And the Rock Island Line was coming all the way from Chicago and going all the way to Galveston. And we had that record of Leadbelly singing about the Rock Island Line. And we got so excited that that train was coming through our backyard that we'd go down there and wait for that train. And when about 15 minutes before it got there, we'd climb up the dirt under the trestle and lie down on our backs and put our faces as close to the bottom of the tracks as we could. We were little boys. Luckily, I can still hear it today. And we did that time and time again until we realized that when people flush a toilet on a train, oh man. So we'll look forward to seeing you later today. This is a song I wrote for my mom about the Rock Island Line. Oh, the Rock Island Line had a Texas run from the Windy City down to Galveston. Mama let us play on the railroad tracks. We were afraid the train to come back, singing the Rock Island Line is a mighty fine line. The Rock Island Line is a road to ride. Ride it, gotta ride it like you finally get your ticket at the station on the Rock Island Line. Now under the trestle, on our backs, hear the train roaring down the track. I close my eyes, I'm full of dread as the Rock Island Line rolls over my head, singing the Rock Island Line is a mighty fine line. The Rock Island Line is a road to ride. If you want to ride it, gotta ride it like you finally get your ticket at the station on the Rock Island Line. Have been crazy, at least possessed, to let that train roll over our chest. But we just love the rush we feel to be a few inches from the driver wheel, singing the Rock Island Line is a mighty fine line. The Rock Island Line is a road to ride. And you want to ride it, gotta ride it like you finally get your ticket at the station on the Rock Island Line. One more time. I'm David Holt. This is Josh Goforth. We'll see you later. Thank you.